installed this plug, and it's showing 14.6, 14.5. Trying to get that. That's showing 14.5. And my gauge on my dash is, you know, that's kind of, but it's where 14.5 usually runs. It's been running for about 5 minutes, and usually when you first start, that's 14.6, and it starts dropping down after the battery charges a little bit. But this thing seems to work. I had one of these. I installed one of these. This is 2001 Silverado, Chevy Silverado, and I removed the tape deck and put one of those cubbies in there. And then I said, well, I'm tired of running these stinking plugs and wires everywhere. So I wired this thing in directly, and then I wired this thing right to the battery. You need to wire this right to the battery, positive and negative to the battery. People complaining about it's not showing or charging or it's low, or you need to run this directly positive and negative to and from the battery. It works great so far. Look at that. You can turn it off. You can turn it on. Let's see here. Of course. Let's see if we plug this in. Of course, you got to flip it around. Yeah, plug that in. And my battery is charging. So now instead of having wires and plugs and everything up here, you know, I wired this directly in, I wired this directly in. This thing works great so far. So I'm running 14.5. The radio's showing 14.4. This thing is showing, this thing connects right to the computer. Sorry for the glare. This thing collects this right to the computer through the port. So the radio is a little lower because I installed that with, you know, whatever the factory ground and positive. So who knows where that goes to and from. But so all the people complaining 1-star reviews is probably because they don't know how to wire stuff. They probably wire this, find a hot lead in the fuse box. No. I run a 12 gauge wire. I upgraded the wire to a 12 gauge, and I put a heavy duty fuse on it. I went up to 15 amp fuse. I don't know if that's going to really do any damage, but 10 amp fuse. I don't like the glass fuses. So right to the battery, and I soldered and heat shrunk all the connections so you don't have loose connections, bad ground or nothing. Alright, so all the people whining and complaining about yada yada yada, it's not working, it doesn't show the right voltage because you can't use your fuse box. You want the correct voltage, you need the voltage of the battery. Alright, sounds good. Take care, people.